Hello, in this video we're going to go through how to activate the Cambridge online textbook, and it's just not an online textbook, there's heaps of other resources that are extremely valuable for your daughter's learning. So if you've got the textbook in front of you, if you just turn the front page, you will see on the inside cover there are instructions there. So you can follow these instructions or you can watch this video. Just remember, you can always pause at any time with this video, and so you can easily follow along, because I will be going quite quickly just because I want to keep the video quite short. All right. So the first thing we need to do is to go to the Cambridge Activate website. So this is actually on the front page of your textbook. So I'll just type it in, hopefully properly. Okay, so I'll just make sure that's all good. And when we go to the Activate website, it's going to ask for an access code. So this access code is on the same page. Okay, you'll see it there in a rectangular box, 16 digits. Now, your access code may have been used before if you've bought your textbook secondhand. So it might be worth it. If you did buy it secondhand, it may not have been used. So it's always worth a try. But if it has been used, you can buy an access code through Cambridge. So you'll just need to contact Cambridge to purchase one. I'm not sure how much they are off the top of my head. I think around $20 to $30. But this will enable you to have an online version of the textbook for your teacher to set assessments via the online portal. There are worksheets. There are quizzes, games, etc. So it's just not the textbook that's online. There is a bunch of other resources. So if you did buy the textbook secondhand and you can't use the access code, I strongly encourage you to contact Cambridge and ask them if you can purchase it. I don't have an access code that hasn't been used before, so I can't really show you the steps from this point forward, but it's pretty straightforward. So you just have to put in your access code and press activate, and then you'd have to put in your contact details and so forth. So make sure you use an email address that you always use. Don't use an obscure one or one that you're going to forget. So I always encourage students to use their student email address. That way you know, well, it's your daughter's work, therefore it's her email address as opposed to the parent's email address. It's just easier to remember. All right. Now, the second thing you need to do is do a class key. So to do this, I'm just going to go to the Cambridge Go website, and off the top of my head, I don't know what the website is, but I always search Cambridge Go and it comes up. So we just go to Cambridge Go login. Now, hopefully it's logged me out. Okay, it has logged me out, which is good. So once you've created your account, you can log in. So I'm just going to log in with, because my son actually uses the same textbook at his school. So I'm going to log into his, just make sure he's got his email address correct. Put in his password. Okay, so it's just going to take a little bit of time because I have really bad internet connection. But your email address, you can see I've used his student address and his password. So if your child is new to using emails and passwords, I strongly encourage you to use a password that they're going to remember, and tell them to use that password for nearly everything so they don't forget. Okay, so this is what it would look like. So you've got the PDF textbook. You can download that straight to your computer, or you can, you've got an interactive textbook. So there's, this is great, so you don't have to, I guess, take your textbook everywhere. So if you're someone who has a laptop at school, you can just leave your textbook at school and then you've got your laptop at home, or you can download it to the desktop, so you don't have to keep carrying a heavy maths book around. Their interactive textbook is fantastic, so I'll just quickly show you the resources that are on here. Again, apologies for the slow internet. Okay, so you can see here we've got, let's just go straight back up. You've got a textbook here, and I might just press on here. So let's just say we're doing fractions and percentages, and we'll do 4A. With each section, you've got the theory, so exactly what is in the textbook. Okay, so there's nothing different. The exercises are also there, but the good thing about the exercises is your daughter can choose which level she is at. So you've got foundation, standard, and advanced. So if you were advanced, you just click on them and those questions come up, and you can also get the check the answer straight away as well. So some students prefer that because they don't have to keep flicking the pages. You've also got walkthroughs and quizzes. So here it's just worked examples basically. So I'm not going to go through that because it's quite time consuming, but it's a fantastic resource. Speaking of resources, here's another one. So in each section you've got examples, but each example also has a video. So if I just go back to, so they're here, but they're also in the starting section. So you can see them on the left here, but if I scroll down to an example, okay, so you can just expand that. So it's got the written example like you have in your textbook, but then there's an instructional video to go along with it. So if your daughter is someone who might be more of a visual learner or someone who learns from something explained to them, there's a video here that will go through each example. So also when you're working through the exercises, let's just scroll back up. You can see the examples are there as well. So you can click on that and it will come up with that video example. All right, also in the resources section, we've got other resources in the resources section. Estimating fractions, that's just an interactive kind of widget that you've got so that you can learn more about fractions. So the students can actually, I suppose maybe in class they could do something similar, but at home, something online that they can do. And then we've got just worksheets. So an activity here and a worksheet called Puzzling Fractions, and then the solutions. So that's really good as additional resources. And then Scorcher. Here is where you can compete. So you're basically playing a little game, I guess, on whatever topic you are doing. So you're just answering questions under time. So you can see there that there's a list of high scores, I guess. All right, so if we just go back now, this is important. I probably should have told you this beforehand. So we'll just go back to this main page. So class key is what you need to include. So there's heaps of resources there. I don't want to keep talking about them because I don't want to take too much time. So press class key and you enter your class key in here. So this just means that whatever work your teacher sets, your daughter can actually see that. It'll come up when she opens up her online account. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, what is my class key? Well, here they are. So your daughter is in one of these classes. So you've got the year 7 classes, the year 8, 9, 10. And if you have a daughter in year 11 or 12, it'll be similar. Okay, so they actually have a separate website, a senior website. Now the class key is extremely important. So if your daughter was in my class, Miss McMullen's class, the class key would be forgot 97. So just make sure that you also realize that in maths, your daughter isn't in her usual homeroom groups or tutor groups. So please ask her, if you're doing this on her behalf and not with her, ask her which maths class she is in. Now, if she does get put into the wrong class, it is easy to fix, but we have noticed, especially with parent-teacher interviews, that just because a student is in 8A doesn't necessarily mean they're in the maths class 8A. So please ask her which maths class she is in. and it will be on her timetable. So if she's not sure, it's on her timetable. And if you can't figure it out from her timetable, or she doesn't have her timetable on her, it's on Schoolbox. And if still you don't know which class she's in, please just email her teacher. Okay, because off the top of my head, I don't want to make a mistake and tell you the incorrect teacher for each class, although I'll probably be able to do it, but we'll just leave it there. Okay, so the class key goes in, whoops, that's a teacher book, into here. Okay, so you put that in and press submit. So that just means, and if I go back here, you know, you can go to tasks. I'll just see whether my son's teacher has set any tasks. She hasn't, but you know, when term 2 starts again, she might set some tasks for him. All right, well, I hope that has made things clear. There's a lot of information, especially if you haven't used the online version before, but I hope it makes sense, and I wish you and your daughter a happy and healthy term 2. Thank you. Bye.